Hi, so today we're going to be looking at the arithmetic sequence, and the first thing that we'll look at is the general formula of the sequence, which is given by t subscript n is equals to a plus into n minus 1 multiplied by d. So the first thing that we'll look at is establishing the sequence, right? So we're going to establish t of 1 up until t of n. And the most unique thing about an arithmetic sequence is the common difference. So when you subtract two terms, it will give you a constant difference throughout. Okay, so now we're going to look at the arithmetic sequence, right? The arithmetic sequence. So the arithmetic sequence has a general term of Tn is equals to a plus into n minus 1 d, right? Of which the d means the difference, and then the n is number of term, and then the a is the first term, right? And then this is Tn basically when you want to identify the term, whether you want to identify term number 1, term number 2, term number 3. So let's identify the terms for this arithmetic sequence. So we have, if we want to identify term number 1, let's say we have a sequence of term number 1, term number 2, term number 3, term number 4, right? So want to identify term number 1, remember our formula. So to find term number 1, we're going to say T1 is equals to, so where there's n, you're going to substitute the 1. So it's going to be a plus into, so 1 minus 1 multiplied by d, right? Of which a plus, so 1 minus 1 gives us 0. So meaning this 0 multiplied by this d gives us 0. So term number 1 is equals to a plus 0, right? Which is actually T1 is equals to a, right? So this is term number 1. We're going to write it here as a, right? And then term number 2, so let me erase this. So to find the second term, so it's T2 is equals to a plus, where there's n, we're going to put 2, so there is the n, right? 2 minus 1 multiplied by d, right? So it's going to be a plus, so the 2 minus 1 is 1, right? So it's going to be plus into that 1 multiplied by d, so which is T2 is equals to a plus d. So this is term number 2. So we're going to write it here, a plus d, right? And then term number 3, let me erase this. Term number 3, we're going to say T3 is equals to a plus into, where there's n, we put 3, so it's going to be minus 1 multiplied by d, so it's going to be a plus 3 minus 1 is 2, right? So it's going to be 2 multiplied by d. So term number 3 is equals to a plus 2d. So I'm going to write it here, a plus 2d. And then term number 4, we're going to do the same thing. Substitute 4 where there's n to find term number 4. So it's T4 is equals to a plus into 4 minus 1 multiplied by d. So it's going to be a plus 4 minus 1 is 3. So it's going to be 3 multiplied by d. So it's going to be a plus 3d. Right, term number 4. So we're going to write it down here, a plus 3d. So it's going to continue just like that, term number 5, term number 6, term number 7, you know. So this is actually the sequence of an arithmetic, right? Where we have our first term being equals to a, our second term being equals to a plus d, our third term being equals to a plus 2d, our fourth term being equals to a plus 3d, right? So what defines the arithmetic sequence is the constant difference. D must be common throughout. So we must have the difference which is common, right? So if we were to find the difference of these terms, right? So when I say A plus D, right, minus A, right? So it's going to be this minus this here. And then let me just separate with a dotted line here. And then you're going to have these two here subtracting each other, so it's going to be A plus 2D minus A plus D, right? So let me separate like this. And then we're going to have this one minus this one here, so it's going to be A plus 3D minus A plus 2D. So we must have a common difference. So if you subtract these two here, what you will have is it's going to be A plus D minus A, right? Let me write this A properly. So it's minus A. So meaning that this A will subtract this A, you'll remain with D, right? Okay, and then here you're going to have A plus 2D minus A minus D. And then this minus A here will subtract this minus A, you have 2D minus D, which will give you D, right? And then here we're going to have A plus 3D minus A minus 2D, and then these will subtract this one here, and then we have 3D minus 2D giving us D. So you can see that we are getting a common difference. We are getting D throughout. So once we find this value being common throughout, we know that this is an arithmetic sequence. So an arithmetic sequence has a common difference at the first difference. So when you find the first difference of the sequence, you will find the common difference. So in this case, the common difference is D. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, please write them down in the comment section below. Otherwise, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to click that bell button.